banner, plant the parade. The Buffalo Sabres have won a hockey game. Cheers. That one felt good. So it is officially official. The Buffalo Sabres' historic losing streak is officially over. So the Sabres' losing streak ends at 18 games. Thank God. So tonight the Buffalo Sabres defeated the Philadelphia Flyers by a score of 6-1. Which, honestly, like, if you would have asked me what I thought the final score would be for a game where the Sabres would have ended their losing streak, I wouldn't have guessed 6-1. Maybe like 3-2 or something, I don't know. But an awesome game all around for the Buffalo Sabres. And you know what? I'm going to enjoy this one. I'm going to do it. I think I deserve it. I think all Sabres fans deserve to celebrate this one, right? We've put up with a lot. We've gone through a lot this year, and I am going to enjoy this one. I mean, their last win was February 23rd against the Devils. Like, it's the last day of March, guys. This was a long one. So clearly, the Sabres learned from their mistakes they made on Monday. Just like the last game against the Flyers, they go into the third period with a 3-goal lead. Did I feel confident that they would hold their 3-goal lead? No. But at the same time, there was no way that the Sabres were going to blow a 3-goal third period lead 2 games in a row. That was not going to happen. Could you imagine? Like, it wouldn't have been totally shocking, but at the same time, like, jerseys would have been burned over that one. This is obviously a huge relief, for sure. Like, it's a relief for the fans. It's a relief for the team. This was just so not fun, this 18-game losing streak. And obviously, like, one win is not anything special. Like, it's not obviously going to change the season. It's not going to prevent us from finishing in last place. You know, but just like last game, they got off to a pretty hot start, which was nice. Sam Reinhart and Curtis Lazar both scored. Which, you know, is nice. The Flyers did get one to make it 2-1 going into the second. But then the second period comes along. It was not a great start for the Sabres. I think they were outshot like 10-0 in the first half of the second period, so it wasn't good. But then, out of nowhere, Stephen Fogarty, right? Like, have you heard of Stephen Fogarty? Have I heard of Stephen Fogarty? Like, kind of, not really. Like, Stephen Fogarty out here looking like a superstar. Like, retire his jersey now. I know there were a lot of greats before him wearing that number, like Rafi Torres and Torrey Mitchell, David Legwand, Vladimir Sobotka. But seriously, I mean, he looked awesome, and it was kind of at that point where we were only up by a goal, but the Flyers looked like they were threatening a little bit. And then Fogarty ends up, you know, just burying one in front for his first NHL goal. And then not too long after that, he makes this, like, brilliant, like, Jack Eichel-esque pass across to Casey Middlestad, who was coming down the wing. Walked in all alone, buried it 5-hole. And then the Flyers changed their goalie. Like, they made a goaltending change because of the Buffalo Sabres. Oh boy. Like what even is that? Like, has that even happened at all this season? So they go into the third period with a 4-1 lead. Obviously, I was a little nervous. I had a little bit of PTSD from the night before having that 3-goal lead going into the third. But again, like I said, they were not blowing it. There's no way. There was no way they were blowing 2 consecutive 3-goal third period leads. As bad as they are, that was not going to happen. So defensively, they looked pretty sound. The Flyers had a few chances, but nothing too worrisome, right? The Sabres shut it down pretty good. The Flyers ended up pulling their goalie. They got a power play, and they ended up pulling their goalie with about 5 minutes left. Brandon Montour threw one down the ice all the way, and it went right in the empty net. And then not too long after that, he went down and scored another shorthanded goal with the goalie in the net. And that was your final, 6-1. So again, like, if nothing else, like, this is just a giant relief for the fans, for the team, for everybody involved with the Sabres organization. They could easily go on another, like, 5 or 6 game losing streak. But I mean, it's something to feel good about. It's something to celebrate. Obviously, if you guys saw my video from the last game, I was crushed, you know, with the Sabres' 18th straight loss, and it just never looking like it was going to change. So for them to come out and really, truly look like they wanted this one, and playing like it was really nice to see. Like, the fact of the matter is, like, the Sabres just don't have a ton of offensive talent right now. Obviously, with Jack Eichel being out of the lineup, you know, guys like Oposo, Reeder, Eakin, Lazar, Shahan, like, all these guys. And then you got guys, too, like Hull, Olofsson, and Skinner, who apparently forgot how to score goals in the NHL. They're definitely not playing a pretty game right now. Like, it's definitely an ugly game. It's choppy. You know, they're still not a great passing team. They don't play with speed. They don't have a ton of skill. But I do like the fact that they're starting to realize that, you know, they don't have anything to lose anymore. So they can just go out and play for pride, play spoiler, right? You know, and have fun with it. You know, obviously you're not going to make the playoffs, but have fun. And that's what I really liked in this game. It was awesome to see the guys on the bench. They were smiling. They were having a great time. Skinner was out being his normal chirpy self. He was pissing the Flyers off. Like, just the way they were celebrating, like, you could tell that they were having fun. And at this point, like, what else more can you ask for, right? Like, just have fun. Like, make this enjoyable. Make this an enjoyable product to watch. Go out and just play your best, have some fun. And that's, at this point, with the season lost, is really all we can ask for. So they did that, and it was really nice to see. I will say, though, and to me, the biggest thing, having Linus Ullmark back is obviously making a huge difference. Like, seriously, who was missing for the majority of that 18-game losing streak? Linus Ullmark, right? Like, he went out in the first game of the losing, like, he played the first period of the first game of that losing streak. And he was out that entire streak, didn't come back until last game, which, honestly, they probably should have won. They had a 3-goal lead going into the third. They probably should have won that game, but they lose that game, and then they win tonight. So they went that whole streak basically without a competent NHL goaltender. You know what I mean? So I think having Linus Ullmark back really, truly makes a difference. I'm not saying that, you know, they're all of a sudden a good hockey team with Linus Ullmark in net, but I truly don't think that they lose 18 games in a row with him being out that long. Like, I think the Sabres obviously should have addressed the backup goaltending situation. Kevin Adams kind of received a little bit of scrutiny for not really addressing that. I always thought Linus Ullmark was a good enough goalie to be able to carry the Sabres to, you know, maybe a few more wins than they should have. But the problem is, like, he goes out, and, you know, Carter Hutton is not really a serviceable NHL goalie anymore. Jonas Johansson, who the Sabres traded to the Colorado Avalanche, as John Vogel put it, you know, is like the worst goalie he's ever covered in all the years he's been doing this. You have Dustin Tokarski, right? Like, they just never had anyone other than Linus Ullmark. So with Linus Ullmark going out, like, that was catastrophic for the Sabres. Again, it's not like they would have won a ton of games. Like, how many times did they get shut out during this 18-game losing streak, right? Like, obviously the goaltenders, you know, can't do anything if their team in front of them is not scoring. But there were so many games where these goaltenders were just letting in these horrible goals. And, you know, I can imagine it's probably pretty tough constantly playing from behind when you just can't get saves from your goaltenders, right? So obviously we'll see how the rest of the season goes. Obviously we have the trade deadline coming up. But honestly, like, at this point, it's just such a relief that this is over, and hopefully the national media can kind of, like, ignore us again, right? Like, treat us again that, like, we're irrelevant, because I feel like it was just so annoying hearing everyone talk about the losing streak and just how bad we are. Now that it's over, I mean, they'll probably still talk about how awful we are, but I don't know. This is something to feel good about, I guess. It wasn't just a win, it was like a statement win. So I can feel good about that. I can be happy about that. You know, and two, like, it was so interesting to see how many people, not even Sabres fans, just people in general, were just so badly rooting for the streak to end. Like, Pierre Maguire, he was doing the color commentary, he was saying as the game was ending, like, this is so awesome for Sabres fans, and, you know, this has got to feel so good for the players, but especially the fans. And, you know, I've got all my Twitter pals who are reaching out to me, Alyssa Hope, Kim, Isles Girl, reaching out and, you know, celebrating the end of this misery for at least tonight. So yeah, I mean, this had to have been so tough for these players, and you got to feel for a lot of them. You know, it was tough enough for me just watching it, so I couldn't imagine what the players must have felt going through this. I don't know. It's weird celebrating when your team is, you know, easily in last place. But like I always say, we take the small victories here. We celebrate when we can, because who knows when we get to celebrate again, right? So yeah, let me know what you think about the losing streak finally being over. I feel pretty good about it. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for the end of the streak. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you soon. Go Bills, go Sabres. Bye, guys.